Welcome to the channel. Today's story takes us to 1893, following Bella Adams, a brown-eyed girl so extraordinary that not even those controlling her life could explain her capabilities. What her mind contained defied logic, frightened those in power, and revealed something never meant to surface. This is more than a story of slavery. It is a story the system tried to erase. This account is heavy and intense. Take a breath and listen closely. Before we begin, subscribe and tell us in the comments which city and country you're listening from. Every voice helps keep these forgotten lives remembered, not buried. Stay until the end. What happens to Bella raises a question still unanswered. Let's begin. On a rain-soaked September evening in 1893, a telegram arrived at Philadelphia General Hospital. Sent by a country doctor in rural Delaware who had witnessed something inexplicable, something he didn't expect anyone to believe. Dr. William Cross had practiced medicine for 31 years in small towns where people entrusted him with their lives and secrets. He wasn't the sort to send urgent messages to city hospitals claiming miracles. Yet that September night, his hands trembled as he wrote words that would change everything. He described a colored girl, about 9 years old, daughter of a washerwoman in Millbrook, who walked into his clinic while he examined a farmer complaining of chest pain. The girl watched silently for less than a minute, then tugged Dr. Cross's sleeve and whispered something that chilled his blood. She said the farmer didn't have indigestion. She said his left arm had hurt for 3 days, his jaw ached climbing stairs, and a blue tint around his fingernails meant his heart was failing. If he didn't lie down immediately and stop moving, he would die within the hour. Dr. Cross examined the farmer more carefully. The fingernails, pale blue, barely visible unless you knew to look. He asked about the arm pain. The farmer admitted, yes, it had bothered him, but he thought he'd slept wrong. The jaw pain when climbing stairs, yes, that too, but he was getting older. Wasn't that normal? Dr. Cross made the farmer lie down on the examination table and sent for help. The farmer survived a massive heart attack only because a 9-year-old colored girl had seen what a trained physician missed. How did you know? Dr. Cross asked afterward, his voice shaking. The child's answer haunted him enough to send that telegram. I read about it in a medical book, sir. The signs of heart failure. I remember everything I read, and I can see things that don't match what's supposed to be there. His heart didn't match a healthy heart. Something was wrong with the pattern. Dr. Cross asked what medical book she could possibly have read. She was colored, presumably illiterate, daughter of a washerwoman who couldn't afford books. The girl's reply was simple. Dr. Harrison left his medical textbooks open on his desk when I cleaned his office with my mama. I looked at the pages while she worked. I remember all of them. Every page, every word, every picture. Dr. Cross didn't believe her. He tested her, pulling medical texts from his shelf, opening random pages, asking her to read passages she'd never seen. She read them perfectly, then recited them back an hour later without error. He showed her anatomical diagrams, she identified every structure, bone, and organ using proper Latin terms. He described symptoms, she suggested accurate diagnoses, sometimes more accurate than his own. She was 9, had never attended school, had learned to read by watching through windows and studying discarded newspapers, and understood medicine at a level surpassing most physicians he knew. Dr. Cross ended his telegram with a plea, I don't know what to do with this child. She has a gift I cannot explain and cannot ignore. Someone with more resources must examine her, understand her, help her become whatever she's capable of becoming. Please advise. The telegram reached Dr. James Whitfield, head of Philadelphia General Hospital's Department of Internal Medicine, a man known for curiosity about unusual cases and willingness to investigate claims others dismissed. He read it 3 times, folded it carefully, and placed it in his desk drawer. He thought for 2 days. On the 3rd, he boarded a train to Delaware. Millbrook in 1893 was the kind of place meant to be forgotten, 200 people, mostly farmers and their workers, living in wooden houses leaning slightly in the wind. The colored population lived on the east side in small homes near the creek that flooded every spring. Dr. Whitfield found the given address, a narrow house with a sagging porch and windows covered with flour sack curtains. He knocked, feeling neighbors' eyes watching from nearby porches, wondering what business a well-dressed white man had in this part of town. The woman who answered was perhaps 30, her face weary from years of hard labor and constant worry. She wore a faded dress and a damp apron, her hands rough and red from days submerged in others' laundry. "Can I help you, sir?" Her voice held the careful neutrality colored people used with white strangers, neither welcoming nor hostile, just cautious. "I'm Dr. James Whitfield from Philadelphia. I received a message from Dr. Cross about your daughter. Is she here?" Something shifted in her expression, fear, perhaps, or resignation. She didn't ask about the message. She simply stepped aside. "Bella," she called into the dim interior. "Come here, please." A girl emerged from the shadows, and Whitfield caught his breath. She was small for 9, thin in a way that spoke of missed meals. Her skin was dark brown, her hair in 2 neat braids. But her eyes, brown, ordinary in color, held something extraordinary in their depth. They looked at him with an intensity that made him feel examined, as if she were reading him the way she read medical texts, absorbing every detail. "Good afternoon, sir," her voice soft but steady. "You're here about what happened with Mr. Patterson, the farmer with the heart trouble." "Yes. Dr. Cross told me what you did. Can you explain how you knew what was wrong with him?" Bella glanced at her mother, who nodded slightly, though her expression wished she could say no. "I saw the signs, sir. The things meaning his heart wasn't working right. The color of his fingernails. The way he held his left arm close, even unconsciously. The small movements when he breathed, like breathing hurt but he didn't want to admit it. And I remembered what the medical book said about those signs. They said when you see them together, the heart is failing and the person could die. But you're 9 years old. How can you understand medical texts written for physicians?" "I don't know, sir. I just read them and remember them. And when I see sick people, I match what I see to what I read. It's like the books put pictures in my head, and I see the same pictures in real life." "Is that wrong, sir?" Wrong wasn't the word Whitfield would choose. Impossible. Miraculous. Terrifying. But wrong suggested moral judgment, and there was nothing immoral about a child being extraordinary. Over the next 3 hours, in that cramped house smelling of lye soap and poverty, Whitfield conducted the most important examination of his career. He started with basic anatomy questions, expecting to find limits. There were none. She described the human heart in detail, matching his medical school education, explained circulatory, respiratory, nervous systems, using Latin terminology correctly, comprehending, not just memorizing. He moved to diagnosis, describing symptoms. She provided thorough, accurate differential diagnoses. When he described a confusing case from the previous week, symptoms that took his team 3 days to solve, Bella suggested the correct diagnosis within minutes, explaining her reasoning clearly. "How is this possible?" he finally asked, as much to the universe as to the girl. "I don't know, sir. Mama says God gave me a gift. But I think maybe my brain works different. I read something once, and it stays forever, every word, picture, idea. And my brain keeps working on it, connecting things, seeing patterns. I can't make it stop. Even when I want to forget, I can't. It's all in there, all the time." Whitfield looked at the mother standing silently by the door. "Has she always been like this?" "Since she was 3, sir." She picked up a thrown-away newspaper and started reading aloud. "I thought she was pretending, making up sounds, but she was really reading. She'd learned somehow, just from watching, through windows, other children in school passing by. She taught herself. I don't know how. What's her full name?" "Isabella Grace Adams, sir. But everyone calls her Bella." "Mrs. Adams, your daughter has abilities I've never encountered. She understands medicine at a level exceptional in a physician with decades of training. In a 9-year-old with no formal education, it's unprecedented. I need to study her further, understand how her mind works, help her develop properly. You want to take her away? Fear sharpened her voice. No, not unless you agree. But I want to bring her to Philadelphia with your permission, to examine her more and begin educating her properly. She shouldn't be cleaning offices and stealing glances at textbooks. She should be in medical school. She's 9, colored, and female. No medical school in this country would accept her, sir. Perhaps not officially, but there are other ways: private instruction, libraries, laboratories, mentorship from physicians recognizing her gifts. I can provide these if you allow it. Why would you do this, sir? Why would a white doctor from Philadelphia care about a colored girl in Delaware? Whitfield considered carefully. Because I became a doctor to understand the human body and heal the sick. Your daughter represents something I cannot understand, challenging everything I thought I knew about the mind's limits. If I ignore her, walk away pretending I never saw what she can do, I failed as a scientist and physician. More than that, she has a gift that could save lives, real lives, people who would die because doctors missed what Bella could see. How can I walk away from that? Grace Adams studied him. You're not lying. I don't think you are. But sir, you must understand, men have made promises to people like us before. Said they wanted to help, then used us for their purposes, experimented on us, displayed us like circus animals. I won't let that happen to my daughter. I won't let anyone turn her into a specimen. If you want to truly help her, promise me she stays with me. Promise she never becomes property, an exhibit, a thing instead of a person. Can you promise that? I can promise to try. That's the honest answer. I can't control the world, but I can control what I do. I promise you, Mrs. Adams, as long as I have power to prevent it, your daughter will be treated as a human being with extraordinary gifts, not a curiosity to be studied or a threat to be suppressed. Grace looked at her daughter, this strange, miraculous child seeing patterns others couldn't perceive. Bella, baby, what do you want? Bella answered without hesitation. I want to learn, Mama. I want to read more books and understand more. The medicine I know is like a tiny piece of something huge. I can feel how much more there is. It's like being thirsty, seeing an ocean, but only allowed one drop. I want the whole ocean, Mama. I want to know everything. How could a mother say no? How could anyone valuing knowledge and human potential deny a mind burning with such fierce hunger? All right, Grace said finally. But I'm coming with her. Wherever she goes, I go. That's not negotiable. Agreed. Whitfield stood, extending his hand, then remembering social barriers, lowered it awkwardly. Can you be ready for Philadelphia within a week? We'll be ready, sir. Thus began the journey taking Bella Adams from a forgotten Delaware town into the center of a major medical controversy, a journey challenging everything white America believed about race and intelligence, demanding a terrible price from all involved. Philadelphia in 1893 was America's second-largest city, a place of contrasts, grand mansions near desperate slums, wealth attending concerts while the poor worked 14-hour days in body-breaking factories. At its heart, Philadelphia General Hospital trained doctors and conducted research shaping American medicine. Whitfield arranged for Grace and Bella to stay in a colored boarding house run by Mrs. Eleanor Thompson, who asked no questions about why a white doctor paid for a washerwoman and child. The money was good, she'd learned not to question reliable payment. For 2 weeks, Whitfield tested Bella extensively, confirming her photographic memory and comprehension. He brought trusted colleagues to verify. Most were skeptical. A colored child with physician-level knowledge seemed impossible, another hoax in an era of fraudulent prodigies. But one by one, they examined her and came away shaken. Dr. Edward Marsh, anatomy professor at University of Pennsylvania Medical School, questioned Bella for 4 hours. Afterward, he sat silently before speaking. James, this is the most remarkable thing I've witnessed. This child knows anatomy better than half my students, real understanding, not just memorized facts. She corrected me twice on points I had wrong. She corrected me star. Imagine what she could become with proper training. I can imagine it. That's why I brought her here. The question is whether the world will allow her to become anything. Dr. Robert Sullivan, cardiac specialist, examined her understanding of heart medicine. He emerged pale. She described a case I saw last month, a patient with unusual heart valve disease. She'd never seen the patient or heard me discuss it. When I described symptoms, she identified the condition immediately, suggested a treatment I hadn't considered. I checked the literature. Her suggestion was sound, better than sound. If I'd thought of it, the patient might have recovered faster. He paused. James, I don't understand how this is possible. Everything I was taught about racial mental capacity says this child shouldn't exist. But she does. She knows more cardiac medicine than physicians trained for years. What does that mean? It means what you were taught was wrong, completely wrong. Intelligence doesn't care about skin color. It never did. We told ourselves it did for social convenience. Bella Adams proves the lie. The question is whether anyone will believe her or find ways to explain her away. As word spread, responses varied. Some wanted to verify, some dismissed it as hoax, some saw Bella as a threat. Dr. Cornelius Webb, 56, psychiatry professor at Jefferson Medical College, was among the latter. A respected voice in racial science, he'd spent decades using skull measurements and brain weight studies to argue Negro intellectual inferiority as natural law. His work supported segregation, opposed Negro education, treated white supremacy as fact. Now a 9-year-old colored girl threatened to demolish it all. Webb wrote Whitfield politely requesting to examine the child, framing it as scientific curiosity, wanting to verify claims and protect the medical community from potential fraud. Whitfield recognized the danger. Webb's agenda was clear. Allowing him to examine Bella was like inviting a wolf to evaluate a lamb. But refusal created problems. Webb was influential, well-connected, capable of damaging Whitfield's reputation. Strategically, if Webb examined Bella and had to acknowledge her abilities, it would devastate his framework. The question was whether he would admit anything or find ways to dismiss it. Whitfield consulted Grace. There's a doctor wanting to examine Bella. His career is built on proving colored people intellectually inferior. If I let him see her, he might try to discredit her, explain away her abilities. He might be hostile, humiliating. If I refuse, he'll claim we're hiding something, that it's fraudulent. He has influence to make that stick. What does Bella think? They looked at the girl, who had stopped reading and watched with perceptive brown eyes. I think he needs to see me, Bella said. If he doesn't, he'll say I'm not real. People will believe him because they want to. If he sees me and I show him what I can do, he must either admit truth or lie. If he lies and I prove he's lying, everyone will know he's a liar. That's not nothing. You understand he might be cruel? Say terrible things, try to make you feel worthless. People like him believe in their bones you're inferior. Confronting evidence proving them wrong makes them angry, sometimes dangerous. Bella's expression didn't change. Sir, I've been colored my whole life. I know what people think. I hear whispers, see them cross streets to avoid me. I've been called names Mama won't repeat, told I'm worth less than dirt under white feet. One more man thinking those things won't break me. But if I make him look stupid in front of others, make him wrong so obviously everyone sees, that might change something. She was 9. She shouldn't have to think about these things, develop strategies confronting racism with a general's precision. But this was her world. All right, Whitfield said. I'll arrange it, but I'll be present, establish rules. He can test abilities, not degrade you. He can ask questions, not interrogate. If you want to stop, we stop. I won't let him hurt you. You can't promise that, Bella said quietly. Nobody can. But I appreciate you trying. The examination was scheduled for October 15, 1893, at Philadelphia General Hospital. Whitfield chose a large lecture hall, inviting a dozen trusted physicians as witnesses and counterweights to Webb's expected hostility. He sent Webb a formal letter outlining conditions, framing it as scientific methodology. He prayed, though not religious, he wasn't leading a child to slaughter. October 15th dawned grey and cold. Bella woke early, dressed in her best mended blue dress. Grace braided her hair carefully, hands shaking. "You don't have to do this, baby. We can leave, go back to Delaware, forget this happened." Bella met her mother's eyes in the mirror. "And spend my life cleaning houses and reading through windows? No, Mama. I'm not going back. Whatever happens, at least I tried. At least I didn't run away." They arrived at 9 a.m., entering through a side door. Whitfield met them, face tense. "The examination is in the main lecture hall. Webb leads questioning, but I'll be present with other physicians. If uncomfortable, if Webb becomes abusive, signal me, I'll end it." Bella nodded. "What questions will he ask?" "I don't know exactly. Probably testing medical knowledge and reasoning. But he may ask questions to humiliate you, use complicated terminology, reference obscure conditions, try to trick you. I'm not worried about medical questions. I know what I know. I'm worried he won't accept any answer, no matter how correct. Some people don't want truth, they want to prove what they already believe." "You're right. But this isn't about convincing Webb, he's probably not convincible. It's about others in the room, physicians undecided. Show them clearly what you can do, Webb's opinion won't matter. They'll know truth, even if he refuses." Bella considered. "So I'm not trying to beat him. I'm trying to win everybody else." "Exactly. Webb is the opponent, the audience is the prize. Make them believe you, Webb becomes irrelevant." A sophisticated concept for a 9-year-old, but Bella nodded, understanding the stakes. She squeezed her mother's hand. "I'm ready." The lecture hall was smaller than hoped, seats filled with more physicians than expected, word had spread. Webb sat at a front table, flanked by 2 colleagues sharing his views. A large, well-fed man with a constantly stroked beard and coldly calculating eyes. When Bella entered, those eyes fixed on her with contempt. "So this is the supposed prodigy," Webb's voice carried. "She looks like an ordinary Negro child." "Dr. Webb," Whitfield said firmly. "Maintain professional decorum. We're here for scientific examination, not insults." "Of course." Webb smiled without reaching his eyes. "I merely observe. Shall we begin?" Bella was directed to a center chair, looking small surrounded by rows of white men deciding her mind's fate. Webb opened a leather folder. "Let's start with basics. Can you read, girl?" "Yes, sir." "Who taught you?" "I taught myself, sir." "You expect us to believe you taught yourself with no instruction?" "I don't expect anything, sir." "You asked, I answered truthfully. What you believe is up to you." A slight murmur, a 9-year-old parried condescension with calm logic. Webb's eyes narrowed. "Test that claim." He handed her a medical textbook open randomly. "Read this passage." Bella read without hesitation. "The clinical presentation of typhoid fever includes a stepwise fever pattern, rose spots on the abdomen, relative bradycardia, and hepatosplenomegaly. Diagnosis is confirmed through blood culture or Weidel test. Treatment focuses on supportive care and management of complications, including intestinal perforation and hemorrhage. Now close your eyes and recite." Bella closed her eyes, recited word for word, no error. "Memorization tricks," Webb said. "Colored performers have done parlor tricks for decades. This proves nothing about genuine intelligence." "Then test my intelligence, sir. Give me a problem to solve, not just memorize. Ask me to think." Physician shifted. Bella had challenged Webb directly. "Very well." Webb withdrew a paper. "A patient presents with severe abdominal pain, fever, vomiting. Exam reveals rebound tenderness and guarding. Diagnosis and recommendation." Bella thought 5 seconds. "Symptoms suggest peritonitis from ruptured appendix." Give an acute presentation, recommend immediate surgical consultation. Delay increases mortality significantly, infection spreads, causes sepsis. Speed essential. Webb glanced at colleagues, they nodded. Correct, but any medical student could conclude that. Then give me a hard one, sir. The directness flushed Webb's face. He shuffled papers, selecting a case to stump her. A 45-year-old man presents with progressive weakness over months, difficulty swallowing, double vision worsening through the day, drooping eyelids. Exam shows no sensory deficits. Diagnosis. The room fell silent, a rare condition many physicians struggle to identify. Bella's eyes went distant, searching her mental library, matching patterns. Progressive weakness with no sensory involvement suggests neuromuscular junction problem, not nerves. Double vision and ptosis worsening through day indicate muscle fatigability. Difficulty swallowing suggests bulbar muscle involvement. This pattern matches myasthenia gravis, impaired nerve muscle transmission. Webb stared. The room utterly silent. She was right, demonstrating genuine neurological understanding, not memorized symptoms. How do you know myasthenia gravis? It was formally described only a few years ago. I read Dr. Jolly's paper from 1895. She stopped. No, wait, that's wrong. Dr. Jolly's paper isn't published yet. I read about matching cases in older literature, recognized the syndrome. The formal name I must have seen elsewhere. Maybe Dr. Herb's work. Every physician understood she'd correctly diagnosed a rare condition, demonstrated awareness of current literature so current she knew about unpublished research, caught her own error about dates, showing active, self-monitoring knowledge. This proves nothing, Webb said, losing confidence. She's coached, trained to recognize conditions, recite prepared answers. Performance, not intelligence. If I've been coached, Bella said quietly, ask me something no one could prepare me for. Describe a recent patient whose case you haven't discussed, let me try to understand what was wrong. The challenge hung. Webb trapped, refuse, look afraid, accept, risk his coaching argument collapsing. Very well. Webb's voice tight. 3 weeks ago, I examined a patient, middle-aged woman, joint pain, skin rashes, kidney dysfunction, episodes of confusion. He described clinical detail, watching for uncertainty. Instead, concentration, intense focus, distant look matching patterns. Joint pain and skin findings, particularly butterfly-shaped facial rash, combined with kidney involvement and neurological symptoms suggest systemic lupus erythematosus, autoimmune condition where body attacks itself. Confusion could be from lupus affecting brain or kidney failure affecting mental function. The rash. Webb stopped, pale. I didn't mention a rash. You said skin findings, sir. In my reading, patients with this constellation having skin involvement often have specific facial rash. I assumed you observed it. Did you? Webb's silence answered, yes. The patient had a facial rash. Bella deduced a symptom he hadn't mentioned. Whitfield leaned forward. Dr. Webb, does Bella's diagnosis match your conclusion? Webb barely audible. The diagnosis was confirmed. The patient has lupus. The room erupted. A 9-year-old colored girl matched a senior physician's complex diagnosis, identified an unmentioned symptom, demonstrating understanding beyond memorization. Webb stood abruptly. This proves nothing. One lucky guess doesn't demonstrate intelligence. Thousands of diseases, millions of symptom combinations, any trained performer could give plausible answers. Entertainment, nothing more. Sir, Bella's voice cut through. If I'm doing tricks, find holes in my knowledge. Ask something obscure, something I couldn't possibly know. I'll answer correctly or not. If I can't, you're right, I'm a fraud. If I can, maybe you're wrong about me and people who look like me. The directness enraged Webb beyond words. Face purpling, hands clenched, he said something changing Bella's trajectory. This child is mentally abnormal. Her abilities, if real, are symptoms of diseased brain, not genuine intelligence. I've seen this in Negro subjects, aberrant development producing isolated skills at cost of mental stability. She should be studied in proper facility, not paraded like circus attraction. What are you suggesting? Whitfield demanded. Psychiatric evaluation. Her condition requires scientific investigation in controlled environment. Leaving her with inadequate mother risks child and public. He turned to the room. Gentlemen, we have responsibility to science and society. If she possesses unusual abilities, we must understand properly. If abilities are pathology symptoms, we must protect her from exploitation and public from danger. I recommend placement in suitable institution for extended observation. Whitfield moved protectively. You can't institutionalize a child because she's smarter than you. I want to protect from potentially dangerous aberration. History of Negro mental instability. Her presentation may indicate he never finished. Grace Adams pushed through the crowd, placing herself between Webb and Bella. You will not touch my child. I don't care about your letters or books. Bella is my daughter. I'll die before you lock her up where you poke at her like an animal. Webb with exaggerated patience, you don't understand scientific importance. I understand you looked at a girl who proved smarter than you, and first thought was lock her away so no one admits you're wrong. I understand perfectly. Chaos descended, physicians arguing, Whitfield trying to restore order, protecting Bella and Grace. In the middle, Bella sat quietly, brown eye seeing too much, understanding this was only the beginning. Men like Webb wouldn't stop, her mind made her a target, she'd fight for her right to exist. The examination ended unresolved, no institutionalization and recommendation because Whitfield and allies threatened going public. But battle lines drawn. Webb left determined to neutralize Bella's threat. He'd find a way, men like Webb always did. It took 3 months. When he moved, no one saw it coming until too late. 3 months post-examination were Bella's calmest. Whitfield arranged private education, she devoured medical knowledge, observed surgeries, learned practical skills. Grace worked as seamstress. For brief months, world seemed to allow Bella to become capable. But Cornelius Webb hadn't forgotten, hadn't accepted humiliation, spent 3 months building a case to destroy her. January 8, 1894, Webb published in American Journal of Psychiatry Aberrant Mental Development in Negro Subjects, a case study in pathological savantism. Described Bella as Subject B, acknowledging apparent abilities while reframing as severe mental disorder symptoms, not intelligence, but savant syndrome parlor tricks from malformed brain. Claimed she was unstable, prone to violence and delusions, cited fabricated observations of aggression and paranoia during examination. Concluded such individuals dangerous, requiring confinement for study and prevention of harm. The article devastated, once in respected journal, it became official record. Future physicians would accept Webb's assessment as fact. Bella defined not by abilities, but supposed pathology. Whitfield learned 3 days later, read with horror, assassination, deliberate reputation destruction justifying Webb's next actions. He went to warn, but too late. Men came at 4 a.m., January 12, 1894, for large, efficient men with judge-signed papers declaring Bella Adams dangerous, subject to immediate commitment to Pennsylvania State Hospital for the insane. Grace woke to broken door, threw herself between men and Bella's bed, screaming, fighting, biting, scratching. They knocked her aside, held her down while others grabbed half-asleep Bella. "Mama, what's happening?" "It's all right, baby." Grace's lie tore out as she struggled. "Don't fight. Don't give excuse to hurt you. Mama will find you. I promise." They carried Bella barefoot in nightgown into freezing night, screams echoing through boarding house as residents watched, afraid to intervene. Mrs. Thompson helped Grace up, held her sobbing. "They took my baby." "I know, honey. What do I do? How get her back?" "I don't know. But we'll figure out, find help." Grace thought of Whitfield, trusted his promises, now daughter gone like criminal, property less than human. She'd find him, demand answers. If he couldn't help, find another way. She'd promised Bella would keep it no matter cost. Pennsylvania State Hospital for the Insane sprawled across 600 acres west of Philadelphia, Gothic buildings like medieval fortress, built with noble Kirkbride plan promising architecture could cure mental illness. Decades of overcrowding, underfunding, neglect transformed it darker, patients warehoused, violent chained, difficult sedated, few left except in coffins. Bella arrived in locked wagon, barefoot in nightgown, feet numb from cold. She'd stopped crying, mind working through terror, understanding, surviving. She knew about asylums from medical texts, knowledge gave power, understanding survival. If she knew what they might do, she could endure. Processed like cargo, number instead of name, weight, height, age in ledger. Hair cut short, dressed in grey institutional sack gown. Room on coloured ward, 8 by 8 feet, narrow bolted bed, waste bucket, small barred window. No heat, stone walls cold, damp. Door locked. Bella sat on bed, knees to chest, recited medical texts mentally, only way to stay sane, remind herself she was more. She wasn't crazy, dangerous, a girl with gift locked away because gift frightened. She'd survive, find way out, make them pay. Dr. Webb arrived 2 days later, arranged legal papers, seizure, placement far from Philadelphia. Came to see Prize, begin studying aberration. Bella brought to examination room, wrists bound, ankles shackled. Hadn't slept or eaten slop in 2 days, cold, exhausted, terrified. Seeing Webb, hatred rose, smouldering, patient, waiting. Hello, subject B. Webb pleasant. Sorry for unpleasant circumstances, but condition requires careful management. I don't have condition. I'm not crazy. You put me here because I embarrassed you. Ah, paranoid thinking exactly why need treatment. Webb noted. Delusions of persecution, inability to recognize pathology, classic symptoms described in paper. You lied, made things up. I never showed aggression or paranoia. You invented because needed true. Webb's pleasant expression unchanged. Ravings of mentally disturbed child carry little weight against trained physicians' observations. No one will believe or listen. You'll disappear here, I'll study defective brain-producing tricks, publish findings proving Negro intelligence contradiction in terms. Over following weeks, Webb subjected Bella to tests and procedures, some legitimate medical exams, others designed to break her. Keep awake days, test memory and reasoning during exhaustion, present problems during painful stimuli, electric shocks, ice baths, stress positions, trying to prove gifts fragile, pathological. Bella endured, no choice. Gave nothing, refused to perform, answered monosyllables, retreated into mind when unbearable. Recited medical texts during worst procedures, using familiar words as anchor. And she watched, learned hospital rhythms, guards lazy or cruel, nurses sympathetic or indifferent. Memorized schedules, catalogued weaknesses, built mental map more detail than diagram. Not just surviving, planning, waiting. When moment came, she'd be ready. Gray spent first week post-abduction in grief and rage fog. Went to Whitfield, horrified but paralyzed by legal complexity. Commitment papers in order, Webb followed procedure. Challenging required proving Bella not mentally ill, requiring physician examination Webb made nearly impossible. Went to lawyers, none would take colored woman's case trying to free child from mental institution. Law clear, physician's authority to commit dangerous patients, courts deferred to medical judgment. Unless prove fraud or corruption, nothing done. Went to newspapers, editors uninterested in colored children in asylums, stories uncomfortable, didn't sell papers. After 2 weeks hitting walls, Gray stopped trying within system. System took daughter, wouldn't give back. So go around, through, over system, whatever took. Started by getting hospital job, applied as cleaning woman with different name, widow from Delaware seeking steady work. Hospital always short-staffed, always needing colored women for dirty jobs white workers refused. Hired without scrutiny, assigned colored wards, suddenly Grace inside walls holding daughter. Finding Bella took 3 days, hospital vast, records disorganized, patients numerous, moved without documentation. Grace searched methodically, checking wards, asking careful questions, building picture. 3rd day, found her, Bella in East Wing colored female ward, problematic patient section. Couldn't approach directly, guards, procedures, paperwork exposing identity. But could clean hallway outside, linger mopping same floor section, waiting moment unwatched. 4th night, moment came, night guard asleep, nurses occupied with crisis other ward end. Grace moved to Bella's door, pressed face to barred window, whispered, "Bella baby, it's Mama." Inside, figure stirred. Bella's face at window, gaunt, exhausted, but alive, recognizable beneath institutional haircut, hollow cheeks. "Mama." "Oh God." "Mama, you found me." "I promised." "Baby, I promised I'd come." Bella cried silently. "Mama, they hurt me. The doctor does things, shocks, freezes, won't let sleep. Says proving I'm defective will cut open brain when done with experiments." "I know, baby. But I'll get you out. Need time, figure how. But I'm here now, not leaving without you." "How? How get me out?" "Don't know yet. But find way, find help. Just hold on." "Can you hold on longer?" Bella's jaw tightened, fierce intelligence flickering. "I can hold on, Mama. Been watching, learning. Know things about this place that might help." "Like what?" "Dr. Webb not just experimenting on me, on many patients, mostly colored. Takes to basement room, does things, some don't come back. Staff talks when think no one important listening. Call it special research program, secret, not in records. Think illegal." Grace's mind raced. If Webb conducting unauthorized experiments, evidence illegal activity might be leverage, bring him down, expose, force authorities intervene. "Baby, can learn more? Details without danger." "Mama, already in danger." "At least danger might be worth something." They talked few minutes before footsteps. Grace pulled away. But those minutes, plan formed, Grace gather evidence outside, talking patient families, documenting observations, building case. Bella gather inside, using memory recording everything seen, heard. When enough, bring Webb down, expose, make him pay. Months followed careful survival and information gathering dance. Grace worked cleaning job, building staff relationships, learning hospital secrets, Webb special research program running 3 years using colored patients as unconsented subjects, lobotomies, drug tests, pain or fear effect studies. Administrators knew, looked away because Webb brought funding, prestige. Survivors transferred to distant institutions or released in conditions making testimony unreliable. Non-survivors buried unmarked graves hospital grounds. Bella survived Webb's examinations while documenting, memorized patient names taken basement, noted dates, times, memorized staff conversations word for word. Building case piece by piece, waiting moment use. Moment came April 1894, for months post-commitment. Grace contacted Samuel Morrison, colored journalist for Philadelphia Negro Community newspaper. Initially skeptical, asylum abuse stories common, exaggerated, hard verify. But Grace brought undeniable, list 47 names, patients entered Pennsylvania State Hospital past 3 years, never seen again, families received vague death notices or no explanation, colored men or women committed minor conditions vanished into Webb's program. Morrison investigated, talked families, checked records, found patterns confirming Grace and Bella's discovery. Wrote article, submitted editor, afraid publish, white institution, respected physician, powerful people disliking exposed secrets. Publishing brought trouble, lawsuits, possibly violence. Morrison argued, threatened taking story other papers, invoked journalistic responsibility expose wrongdoing. Reluctantly, editor agreed. Article appeared April 23, 1894, and named no names directly, avoiding libel, but descriptions clear enough knowing accused. Described experiments without consent, disappearing patients, graves, hospital grounds, hidden abuse pattern years. White newspapers ignored initially, but colored community didn't. Churches preached, community leaders demanded investigation, missing patients' families came forward with stories. Pressure built until couldn't ignore. May 5, 1894, Philadelphia District Attorney announced investigation Pennsylvania State Hospital practices. May 12, Dr. Cornelius Webb suspended pending investigation conclusion. May 15, James Whitfield arrived hospital with lawyer, court order demanding Bella Adams' immediate release, commitment papers obtained fraud, physician signed based false information Webb provided, confinement basis illegitimate. Hospital administrator, desperate distance institution from growing scandal, agreed release without fight, wanted no further connection Webb. Grace waited hospital gates when Bella walked out, blinking spring sunlight, thin, pale, but alive, still herself, extraordinary. Mama. Word sob. Bella ran into arms. Grace held daughter first time for months, crying, laughing, promising never let go. But even reunion moment, Bella's mind working, Webb suspended, not arrested, investigation ongoing, but investigations manipulated, witnesses intimidated, evidence destroyed. Seen too much world workings to believe justice simply happen. If wanted Webb truly pay, make happen herself. Cornelius Webb trial began September 1894, 8 months post-release. Charges serious, assault, false imprisonment, medical experiments without consent, multiple manslaughter patients died during experiments. But Webb had resources, connections, hired best lawyers, called favors powerful friends, mounted defense attacking every witness credibility, dismissing evidence, framing case as respected scientist persecuted ignorant mob. Bella Adams scheduled testify trial's third day. Webb's lawyers fought exclude testimony, arguing colored child's word untrustworthy, supposed mental illness made unreliable witness. Judge, influenced overwhelming public interest, allowed stand. Entered courtroom simple dress mother maid, hair grown back braided neatly, brown eyes calm, focused. Looked impossibly young, small, child-facing man who tormented. But when spoke, everyone understood why Webb desperate destroy. Testified 6 hours, described commitment, confinement conditions, experiments Webb performed. Provided dates, times, names, details no one could coach because no one else access. When Webb's lawyers tried confuse rapid-fire questions, answered precisely, completely. When tried trip contradictory scenarios, identified contradictions, explained why not apply. When attacked credibility, calmly recited medical textbook passages about Webb's techniques, demonstrating understanding exceeding most physicians, making impossible dismiss mentally deficient. Most devastating moment, prosecutor asked describe witnessed hospital basement. Bella closed eyes momentarily, not needing remember, but painful speak. Saw Dr. Webb perform surgery on Thomas Green. Mr. Green committed melancholia after wife died, not violent, dangerous, just sad. Dr. Webb cut open skull while conscious, wanted see what happened touching brain parts. Mr. Green screamed almost hour before stopped sounds. Died 2 days later. Official cause, heart failure. Courtroom silent, several jurors physically ill. Webb, first-time trial, looked afraid. She wasn't finished, named 23 other patients witnessed experimented on, described procedures medical detail verifying testimony unfabricatable, provided dates matching hospital records, names matching death certificates, details only present could know. Finished, Webb's lead lawyer requested recess, needed consult client. Consultation for hours. Court resumed, Webb changed plea guilty all counts. Sentence October 3, 1894, Cornelius Webb received 35 years prison, medical license permanently revoked, published works formally repudiated American Medical Association. Theories racial intelligence, already wounded Bella's public demonstration abilities claimed impossible, thoroughly discredited. Died prison 12 years later, forgotten, disgraced, life's work reduced cautionary tale prejudice corrupting science. But conviction not Bella's story end. Beginning. Months post-trial, Bella Adams became symbol, cause, living refutation everything white America believed colored capabilities. Newspapers ignoring case wanted interviews, physicians dismissing Webb's examination wanted study, reformers fighting Negro rights wanted parade as evidence. Grace and Whitfield worked protect worst attention, shielding exploitation while allowing education continue. Bella clear, not interested symbol, wanted doctor, heal people. Fame, attention nothing except tools achieving goal. Obstacles still enormous, no American medical school admit colored female regardless abilities. But world changing slowly, grudgingly, force change people like Bella refusing accept place predetermined skin color. 1896, age 12, Bella passed examination certifying medical knowledge equivalent licensed physicians, unofficial, arranged Whitfield, administered panel physicians observing abilities years. No legal weight, but documented, witnessed, entered record, proof colored girl master medicine well white man. 1899, age 15, Bella began working alongside Whitfield Philadelphia General Hospital, role unofficial, unadvertised, hidden objectors. Couldn't call doctor, treat patient's own authority, but observe, advise, assist. Physicians working learned her assessments more accurate, diagnostic instincts sharper, understanding deeper. Saved lives quietly, anonymously, lives lost without gifts. 1905, age 21, Bella Adams received official recognition, Women's Medical College Pennsylvania, few institutions training female physicians, agreed admit provisional basis. Completed 4-year program 2 years, graduated top class, first colored woman earn medical degree institution. Graduation ceremony small, private, attended Grace, Whitfield, handful supporters. No newspaper photographers, crowds admirers, world not ready celebrate colored female physician. But Bella needed celebration, wanted credentials practice openly, authority treat patient's own name, power use gifts without hiding, pretending, dismissed trick aberration. Dr. Isabella Grace Adams practiced medicine Philadelphia next 47 years, specialized diagnosis, using remarkable memory, pattern recognition identify conditions physicians missed. Patients came across country, white, colored alike, told cases hopeless, misdiagnosed, mistreated, heard whispers colored woman doctor see others couldn't. Saved thousands lives. Trained dozens young physicians, passing not just medical knowledge, but understanding brilliance came all colors, genders, minds capacity learning, healing not determined body housing. Never forgot done, asylum months, experiments, pain, terror locked away because gifts frightened men couldn't accept represented. Carried memories rest life, perfect recall couldn't forget even forgetting merciful. But never let memories define, victim, became survivor, then more, healer, teacher, pioneer opening doors never fully closed again. Grace Adams lived see daughter become everything dreamed. Died 1923, age 60, Bella bedside. Last word same first Whitfield years ago, take care my baby. Promise take care. Mama, Bella holding hand life slipped, not baby anymore, doctor, can take care myself. Still my baby. Always my baby. Made me so proud. So proud. James Whitfield died 5 years earlier, 1918, great influenza pandemic, caught disease treating patients, refusing stop working health failed. Bella with N2. 2 great champions, mother fought, physician believed, both gone. But legacy lived every patient treated, life saved, young physician learned example medicine healing people, not judging. Dr. Isabella Grace Adams died March 15, 1952, age 68. Practiced until 2 weeks before death, seeing patient small clinic established Philadelphia colored neighborhood, providing care regardless ability pay, treating poor, forgotten same skill, attention give anyone. Obituary * Philadelphia Inquirer * same newspaper ignored story 60 years earlier, called Pioneer American Medicine, Diagnostic and Extraordinary Gifts, Woman Overcame Impossible Obstacles Become Most Respected Physicians Generation. Not mentioned locked asylum 9, experimented man believing existence impossibility. Not mentioned trial destroying man, testimony sent prison. Not mentioned years fighting, hiding, struggling world wanted less. But Bella not minded omissions, never wanted remembered done her. Wanted remembered done, lives saved, physicians trained, doors opened. Proof provided through simple existence, achievement lies told colored people lies, always lies, always lies. End, that revenge, not trial though mattered, not Webb's imprisonment though just. Revenge living. Revenge succeeding. Revenge becoming so undeniably excellent what did no one dismiss, explain away, pretend didn't exist. Made see. Made acknowledge. Made harder refuse next Bella Adams, next. Some break world tearing down. Bella Adams broke proving wrong. So take Bella Adams's story. Life mean today, century after telegram Philadelphia general describing colored girls see physicians couldn't? Maybe lesson simple, world full extraordinary minds ordinary bodies, gifts wrapped packages prejudice teachers discard unopened. Every assume someone can't because look, come from, category placed, risk throwing away brilliance humanity desperately needs. Maybe lesson harder, fighting injustice requires more right. Bella right abilities, right value, right humanity. But right not enough, survive first, endure things break most, play long game gathering evidence, building alliances, waiting moment truth finally heard. Justice not automatic, fought, bled, sometimes waited across years suffering. Maybe lesson this, some born change world fight every step. Bella not ask extraordinary, not choose born mind remember everything, see patterns others couldn't, understand medicine levels should impossible. Gift given, burden never sought, burden proof comfortable lies false, burden threatening entire structure society built assumption inferiority. World punished, locked away, tried break, nearly succeeded. But survived anyway. Persisted anyway. Became capable anyway. Made possible others follow. Real heroes, not myth legend slaying dragons magical swords. Real heroes face systems design destroy, refuse destroyed. Keep fighting when hopeless. Prove through existence limits placed human potential artificial, arbitrary, wrong. Bella Adams 9 diagnosed heart attack trained physician missed. 9 told abilities impossible skin color. 9 locked asylum crime too brilliant. 68 died, spent adult life proving people tried destroy wrong everything mattered. Not tragedy, triumph. Cost more should. Required more suffering any person endure. Took longer justice demanded. But triumph nonetheless because Bella Adams got only revenge truly matters, 1. 1 living. 1 succeeding. 1 becoming undeniable. Men tried stop remembered only villain story, footnotes history woman changed world refusing less. If stayed through story, discovery, examination, asylum, trial, decades healing, ask, how many other Bella Adams now? How many extraordinary minds dismissed come packages prejudice teachers ignore? How many potential doctors, scientists, artists, leaders told can't, shouldn't, not allowed? What do? Bella proved limits placed human potential lies. But couldn't prove alone, needed mother fought, physician believed, journalist told story, community demanded justice. Needed people willing see when world wanted invisible. Needed allies understood fight their fight, injustice anywhere threatens justice everywhere, all rise fall together. Challenge, be ally someone. Look extraordinary places others refuse look. Question assumptions taught who deserves opportunity, who doesn't. Fight Bella Adams time, brilliant minds locked prisons prejudice, poverty, institutional indifference. On a legacy not just remembering story, but continuing work, refusing accept any child's potential limited skin color, birth circumstances. Build world next Bella Adams not spend half-life fighting right exist before start work born do. Bella Adams deserved better world gave, deserved recognized immediately, trained properly, celebrated openly. Deserved childhood-free asylums, experiments, terror. Deserved become Dr. 21 without overcoming obstacles never existed. Didn't get deserved, got fought for, both more less. More earned every achievement struggle made victories meaningful ways easy success never. Less because no later success fully compensates suffering never inflicted. Can't go back give Bella Adams life deserved. But work toward future children like her get life, extraordinary minds nurtured not suppressed, skin color not determined gift celebrated feared, no one prove humanity surviving attempts destroy. World Bella Adams fought, world proved possible existing, succeeding despite everything designed fail. Building world, job now. Make story matter. Make sure not suffer nothing. Story Isabella Grace Adams, brown-eyed girl saw no LC, child tried break because brilliance threatened comfortable lives, woman became healer, teacher, pioneer, proof limits placed human potential exactly that, limits placed, not limits exist nature, truth, fundamental structure human beings become. Remember. Learn. Go find extraordinary minds world still trying hide.